Well, it's finally here. Week 13, approaching the playoffs. This is your host, White J, Commissioner Fantasy 2010 on Facebook, powered by Sports Illustrated. And this is definitely the most important week of this league. We've seen some big shifts in the league throughout the season. A couple teams have been moving up. Breeze team in Nilla Nation, Colorado Nilla Killers. They were all at the bottom of the pack for the first third of the season. They've all finished near the top. Bloodhounds is still at the top. He's been running away with the league all year. My team has slipped a little bit towards the end. A little bit worried this week about my playoff life. And then we have a couple teams at the bottom who've been at the bottom fighting in there for a playoff, Zach's team and Team Swag. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a real interesting week this week. So let's jump into the standings. In the first position we have Bloodhounds at 10-2 with 1,218.42 points scored, leading the league. Followed by Nilla Nation, 7-5, 1,194.74 points. Masternators also at 7-5, 902.84 points. Colorado Nilla Killers, 6-6, 1,019.44 points. Breeze Team, 6-6, 937.04 points. Brian's Team, 5-7, 1,093.18 points. Rowdy Roethlisberger's, 5-7, 1,084.42 points. Zach's Team, 5-7, 978.42 points. Team Swag, 5-7, 937.48 points. And followed up by Carl's team at the end. I think Carl has deleted his Facebook account and is no longer paying attention to his team. As far as I can tell, he hasn't made any moves in a long time. So he's holding down the bottom at 4-8. 885.56 points. So it's looking not too good for him. I'm thinking that he's going to be definitely eliminated this week, so that leaves one other person to get eliminated, probably out of the bottom four teams at 5-7. So we'll see what happens. I want to thank everybody for playing this year. It's been a great time. I've enjoyed putting these broadcasts together as well as checking the league and seeing what everybody's doing. So I want to thank everybody for playing. We're going to try to do it bigger and better next year. I'm going to adjust the point system to bump up the points with bonuses and probably points per catch, points per carry, things like that. I just left it real basic this year since it's my first time trying this. So hopefully the point system is going to be a little bit more complex next year and more exciting. As well as I'm going to try to throw some multimedia presentations into the fantasy broadcast next year. I'm going to try to expand the league to 20 teams, probably 15 or 20 teams, just to make it a little more strategic, especially when it comes to waivers, and maybe some people might be forced to make some more trades. I don't think there was one trade in the league this year, so I want you guys to all come back next year and play again. Like I said, it's been a great time, and we want to do it bigger and better next year. So let's jump into the first preview matchup of the week, 1 out of 2 in the first segment. We got Bloodhounds going at Colorado Nilla Killers. Bloodhounds is 10-2. Colorado Nilla Killers 6-6. For Bloodhounds, we have QB Mike Vick. Put on a show last night, but I made my picks yesterday during the day, so it had nothing to do with the outcome of last night's game. Maurice Jones-Drew at running back, Seth Benson at running back, and probably the best trio of receivers in this league right now. Dwayne Bowe, Brandon Lloyd, and Calvin Megatron Johnson. Followed by Tony the Ageless Wonder Gonzalez at tight end. Tennessee's defense, Adam Vinatieri. On his bench, he's got 2 quality backup quarterbacks, which he obviously didn't use this week. He's got Matt Ryan and Jay Cutler. So he has a real deep bench, looking strong going into the playoffs. So Colorado Nilla Killers, Matt Schaub. He's got Adrian Peterson in there. He might have to make a change. I think he still might be out this week. He's got Jamal Charles, wide receiver Santonio Holmes, Brandon Marshall, and Jeremy Macklin, who I think had about 68 yards last night on 6 catches. Then he's got Aaron Hernandez gambling in there at tight end. The other guy for New England's been playing solid too, and it seems like it's week to week Gronkowski. As to who's going to get the touchdown pass out of those two. He's got the New York Jets starting defense and Garrett Hartley a kicker. On bench he's got Ryan Fitzpatrick and Matt Forte, who's at Detroit this week. Might be a nice plug-in for Adrian Peterson if he's not going to go. I'm taking Bloodhounds this week. He's been pretty unstoppable this year. He's got a great lineup, and I just don't see any letdown this week. I'm looking for Smitty to go to 6-7 and Travis to go to 11-2. Matt Schaub had a decent game last night for Nilla Killas. I just don't. Brandon Marshall may be playing this week, coming back off a hamstring injury. So I just don't think he has enough firepower to overtake Bloodhounds. Moving on to matchup number 2, we got Nilla Nation and Masternators. Oh, by the way, last week I was 4 for 5. The Nilla Nation, Brian's team matchup was the only team I missed, so I was 80% for last week. For Nilla Nation at quarterback, Eli Manning. Then he's got 2 strong stud running backs, Peyton Hillis and Arian Foster. At wide receiver, Marquise Colston, who's been coming alive a little bit. Roddy the Truth White, T.O., who struggled last week. He's got Greg Olson, Chicago's defense. David Akers is his kicker. I think he had a decent point total last night. On the bench, he's got Ray Rice and Miles Austin, so 2 nice plug-ins if he decides to take a different route. Maybe Miles for T.O. might be a good move. I don't know. At Indiana, that's definitely probably going to be a shootout. So, Masternators, Drew Brees, BenJarvis Green-Ellis, Ronnie Brown, Randy Moss, Lance Moore, Jabbar Gaffney, Vasanti Shanko. Pittsburgh's D, Sebastian Janikowski is his kicker. On the bench, he's got Corey Ivory and the resurgent Deion Branch. I'm going Nilla Nation in this one. They're both 7-5. I just think with the running back combination of Hillis and Foster put up 2 touchdowns last night. I think it's going to be a little bit tough for Masternators. He's got BenJarvis Green, Ellis, and Ronnie Brown, who are going to be struggling to keep up with Hillis and Foster. So, looking for Nilla Nation to go 8-5 and Masternators to 7-6. Still a nice season. Both definitely going to make the playoffs. So, we'll see what kind of matchups we get. I'm going to have to wrap up the first segment. Going a little long here, so we'll be back for segment number 2. Thanks for tuning in.